great condition. I was given them in a, like, coffee maker box that is at least 20 years old itself. And I guess they were sitting in an attic, I think, so not the best conditions. They're kind of just thrown into this box. After I'm done making this video, I'm gonna try to put them in these card sleeves I have here and put them in a binder, just so they don't get worse than they already are. And if they're too far gone, then I might just toss them, because I doubt they're worth anything. But maybe we'll surprise ourselves. So let's look at this handful. It's a random handful. I haven't looked at it at all. First guy is Mike Stanton, which I only know one Mike Stanton, and his name is not Mike. He went by Mike in the minors, and early in his big league career, Giancarlo Stanton, now of the Yankees, peaked in his career probably with the Marlins. 2017, hit like almost 60 home runs, I think, or yeah, I don't remember, something like that. MVP winner, I think he hit 59, I want to say. But this is not him. That is Mike Stanton, pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. So it looks like he debuted in 1980 with the Cleveland Indians at the time. Now the Guardians. He pitched 51 games, 86 innings pitched, so he was a reliever. One win in his rookie year. Not the best ERA, career ERA up to this point, which was 1982 going into 1983. He had a 4.94 ERA in 217 innings pitched. Next card, we also have another pitcher from the Seattle Mariners, Mike Moore. Looks like last year, aka 1982, was his rookie season. He pitched in 28 games with 144 innings, so he was a starter. And he did not do great. 5.36 ERA, 7 wins, 14 losses. Not that wins mean much for pitchers, but 79 walks to 73 strikeouts is never going to get you a great ERA. Next, we've got another pitcher, not for the Mariners this time though, instead for the Minnesota Twins, Al Williams. I don't know who this guy is either. Looks like he also debuted in 1980. Had a pretty good rookie season, 3.51 ERA in 77 innings, only 35 strikeouts and 30 walks. I don't think of the early 80s as much of a big strikeout period, so I guess that makes sense, but kind of a lot of walks. And his career, he had 381 innings pitched up to this point. They call him Al on the front, and then they have their like full government name on the back, Alberto Williams. Alright, 4 cards in, 4 pitchers. This is Mario Soto, who I don't know who that is either. This is not a Donruss card, though. This is a Fleer card, which kind of has more in-depth stats on the back. That makes me think maybe Donruss only does stats in the 80s. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But, oh, this has minor league stats on here, which is pretty cool. He pitched in Billings, Eugene, Tampa, and Indianapolis. Remember Tampa, this was 1976. Tampa did not have a Major League Baseball team. They had not expanded to Tampa yet, so that was a minor league team. But Major League totals up to this point, a 3.15 ERA in over 1,000 innings. 938 strikeouts, not bad, Mario. Good job, buddy. Okay, I definitely know who this is. Wade Boggs with the Boston Red Sox, a Hall of Famer. It says special superstar in the bottom corner of the card here. AL batting champion, it says. That means you have the highest batting average. And on the back, this is, I think, a special card. I guess that's That's why it says special on the front, huh? But on the back, instead of having his stats as a fun fact, it says in only his second full season in the major leagues, Boston Red Sox Wade Boggs won the 1983 American League batting title, posting a .361 batting average. He also led all AL batters with a .444 on-base percentage. That's crazy. His total of 210 base hits was second to Oriole Cal Ripken with 211. In 1982, Boggs established an American League record for the highest batting average for a rookie, .349. You don't see numbers like that anymore, at least not with the offensive production that Wade Boggs had. Alright, back to guys I've never heard of again. We've got Jesus Vega. In this picture, he was a Minnesota Twin. Wow, the back of the card is kind of nasty looking. Not many stats for him. Looks like a career 58 hits up to 1982 when this card was made. Yeah, not notable. At least in my brain. I've never heard of him, but Jesus Vega, welcome to the video. Alright, now we've got Montreal Expos first baseman Al Oliver. Expos have like the coolest branding ever. It's too bad they couldn't sustain a baseball team. Looks like in 1982, which is the year this card was made, was his first year with the Expos. He led the league in batting average that year with .331. Up to this point, he was a .305 hitter in 5 seasons, beginning in 1978 with the Rangers, who he was a full-time player by then already in his rookie year. Do I not know this guy? Why do I not know this guy? Looks like this was later in his career. He was born in 1946, so those were his last 5 years, but not his entire career, because he had, up to this point, 2,362 hits. Al Oliver, I'm sorry, I've never heard of you, dude. You're pretty goated at baseball, man. Over 1,000 RBIs, 200 home runs. Not bad, man. Alright, moving on, we've got Pat Zachary, who looks very 70s in his picture, or very 70s, early 80s. Pitcher for the Mets. I actually do recognize him. I don't know why. I don't think he was all that notable. Let me take a look on the back here. Some pretty low ERAs. He was a starter, it looks like. Up to this point, 500 career strikeouts. Debuted in 77 with the Reds. Later got traded to the Mets, who he spent the rest of his career up to this point, 1981, with 501 strikeouts, 355 walks. Not terrible. Career ERA under 3.5, which is really good. Alright, now we've got Cubs catcher Keith Moreland. And another guy, I'm sorry, I've never heard of. Looks like he debuted with the Phillies in 1978. Got 2 at-bats in 1 game, didn't get a hit, and then didn't play again that year. Kind of a bummer. But then the next year he came up, hit .375 in 48 at-bats, 18 hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, and no home runs. Only 3 walks and only 5 strikeouts in 48 at-bats. Not terrible. Alright, we've got a Topps card now, and it's in pretty rough shape. We've got White Sox second baseman Julio Cruz. I think I've heard of him. Maybe I'm confusing him for someone else. I don't know. Let's look on the back. So it looks like 83, the year this was printed, was his first year with the White Sox. He had spent the prior 7 years, I think. I don't feel like counting. With the Seattle Mariners. A career average of .244, which back then is probably pretty frowned upon, I'd imagine. Maybe he was a defense first guy, I don't know. But yeah, pretty bad shape on this card. Pretty low slugging percentage. Not a bad walk to strikeout rate though. So good for you, buddy. Only 18 home runs in like 8 or 9 seasons. So averaging like 2 a year. Not bad, man. Alright, our next card is a rated rookie for Donruss 1984. This card is in really bad shape. That's Dick Schofield, shortstop for the changed their name and everything, but 83 was his rookie season. He played 21 games, got 54 at-bats, only hit 204, with 2 doubles and 3 home runs. It's only 6 walks and only 8 strikeouts, so not terrible. But yeah, Dick Schofield, haven't heard of him, so I assume this rated rookie never really panned out. Next up, we've got 1984 Donruss Dwight Evans of the Boston Red Sox. I do know who Dwight Evans is. They have his stat line from 1979 to 1983 on here. But in total, up to this point in his career, he had 1,300 career hits, a career batting average of 266, 682 walks, and almost 1,000 strikeouts. Also 204 career home runs. I do know who Dwight Evans is. Pretty solid ball player. Alright, next up we've got friend of my family, Mike Marshall of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Really, I don't know about friend, but some members of my family do know him, and a lot of the 80s Dodgers, the team that won in 81 and or 88. Like Oral Hershiser sends my great aunt a Christmas card like every year. Pretty cool. But Mike Marshall was someone who they had spent a lot of time with, which is really cool to know. And they've got some pretty cool memorabilia from that team too, so yeah. Alright, back to Donruss, 1984, second baseman, or third baseman I think, for the White Sox, Julio Cruz. I wish the White Sox leaned more on that branding, that blue and red. I know it doesn't make sense because they're the White Sox, but it looks really cool. I like that. I wish they kind of leaned on that more. They definitely need a refresher after last year. I think anything might help them because they set the loss record last year, which is pretty bad. Now we've got 1984 rated rookie Doug Frobel of the Pittsburgh Pirates. In his rookie year, well, looks like he actually debuted in 1982, but I don't think he qualified as a rookie that year. I don't even know if he qualified as a rookie the next year. Looks like he didn't get much playing time either time, but in his rookie year, his debut year, 1982, he only hit 206 with 7 hits and 34 at-bats, 2 home runs and 2 doubles, 1 walk and 11 strikeouts, which was a lot for back then, I think. And then the following year, 1983, he did much better, hit 283 in 32 games. He got 60 at-bats, 17 hits, 4 doubles, and 3 home runs, as well as a triple. Walked 4 times and struck out 17 times, and he got the strikeout rate down a little bit there. Alright, now we've got Reds pitcher Charlie Puleo, I think is his name. I've never heard of him. I do like that these Fleer cards have his minor league stats. That's always interesting. Looks like he played in Utica, Dunedin, Knoxville, and Tidewater, I think is that. Looks like he debuted with the Mets in 81. Didn't really get a full season until 82, and then 83 he got traded or went to the Reds or something. Career ERA up to this point, 4.48, not great. 177 strikeouts in 327 and 2/3 innings. Now that's an 80 strikeout rate right there. Alright, now we've got another guy I've heard of, first baseman for the Blue Jays, Willie Upshaw. The back of this card is pretty disgusting. Didn't really have a great season until, looks like 82, he had 21 homers, 75 RBIs, but then 83 was really a breakout year for him, 27 home runs, over 100 RBIs. And up to this point in his career, this was printed in 1983, 54 career home runs, but I believe he went on to have a decent career. Alright, the back of Willie Upshaw's card kind of got stuck to Steve Rogers' Topps card there, so that's a little bit of a blemish. That's a bummer. Steve Rogers was a pitcher for the Montreal Expos. Pretty long career, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, up to this point, it has on the back 1973 to 83, and up to that point, what does it say, 1,500 career strikeouts, not bad, dude. Alright, back to guys I've never heard of. We've got first baseman for the Oakland A's, Kelvin don't see guys that look like this anymore. Especially playing professional baseball. I mean, he already looks 40 in this picture. Is he a coach? No, he's a first baseman for the Seattle Mariners. Let's see, looks like he debuted in 77. This was printed in 83. 264 career average up to this point with 61 home runs and 235 RBIs. Not terrible, dude. Looks like his best year was probably 83, actually, with the Mariners. With 19 home runs and 67 RBIs. Actually, sorry, never mind. Oh no, never mind. Tucson was his best minor league year, 1978. 21 home runs, 96 RBIs in Tucson. Alright, we've got another Willie Upshaw now, a Topps Willie Upshaw card, also with the Blue Jays. I don't think I need to go over it. I believe this is actually from the same exact year as the other card. But yeah, Willie Upshaw, not a bad baseball player. Alright, now we've got Houston Astros pitcher Vern Rule. Kind of a cool name. Right-handed. I believe he was a starter. Yeah. 13, 14, 13. Let's see. A career 3.51 ERA. And, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Vern Rule. Vernon Gerald Rule is his full name, apparently. Let's see, career highlights. Passed up free agency after the 81 season and signed a $1.3 million contract to stay with the Astros. Pitched in relief and later as a regular starter when Don Sutton was injured late in the 1981 season. Astros signed him as a free agent April 2nd, 1978, after he had been released by the Tigers. Made a full recovery from that back surgery in 79 that wiped out almost all of that season and threatened his career. Set personal high for victories in 80 while leading the Astros in winning percentage. Good for you, Vern. So now we've got Jeff Burrows, or on the back, Jeffrey Allen Burrows. Looks like he debuted in 78 with the Braves, and in 1982 he was with the A's, which is what this card is. And it says, led the A's in batting last year and was among the leaders on the club in run production. Won the AL MVP award in 1974 with Texas when he hit .301 with 25 home runs and a league-leading 118 RBIs. Look at you, dude. So he didn't debut in 78. Just, I don't understand the back of these cards. I guess it's not a baseball reference page. So it looks like he won MVP in 74. That's pretty good, dude. Jeff Burrows. Little trivia fact, 74 AL MVP was Jeff Burrows. Alright, pitcher David Palmer is up next. There's those Expos again with their awesome branding and colors. So, career highlights for I'm still on Jeff Burrows. I was just so psyched when I found out he won MVP in 74 with the Texas Rangers. Alright, career highlights. David Palmer, saw a brilliant comeback, all go for naught, when he injured his elbow, 8/13, and missed the remainder of the season. Underwent tendon transplant surgery and will miss the entire 83 season. Had previously missed most of 81 season because of elbow problems. Okay, so not nearly as good of a fun fact as Jeff Burrows. I'm sorry, David Palmer, but you had to miss the entire 83 season. That's a real bummer, dude. Alright, I definitely know who this is. Outfielder Mookie Wilson of the New York Mets. Career highlights back here. Hopefully it's better than David Palmer's. I don't see how it could get any worse, really. Mookie Wilson, full name, William Hayward Wilson, set a Mets club record for steals last year. Is one of the top center fielders in baseball. Began switch hitting in 1980, hit .295 at Tidewater that year. The Mets signed him out of the University of South Carolina, where he hit .357 in 1977. He has led the Mets in runs, triples, and stolen bases the past 2 years, so I think that would be 82 and 81. He also led the club in hits last season in 1982, I think. Yeah, definitely 82. Alright, I pre-read Jack O'Connor's fun fact page, little highlight thing on the back, and it was really boring. It was about his minor league career and stuff, so I'm sorry, Mr. O'Connor, Mr. Jack O'Connor, but I can't say I'm all that interested, man. Tony Pena, on the other hand, I haven't even read his yet, but maybe it's Francisco Peña is his full name, has quickly established himself as one of the finest all-around catchers in the game, was an outstanding rookie in 1981 after taking over as Pirates' #1 catcher after the strike, finished 10th among NL batters that last year, promoted to majors after 1980 season when he hit .329 for Pirates' Portland farm team, with 23 doubles, 13 triples, 9 home runs, 97 RBIs, and 225 total bases. Good going, Tony Peña. Now I've got Expos Rodney Scott, the second baseman. There's those cool Expos hats again, man. I'm telling you, they're sick. So, Rodney Scott, middle name Daryl, by the way, was second behind Tim Raines in stolen bases on the Expos in '81. Well, it's hard to get past Tim Raines in stolen bases. He's the ex-Montreal manager Dick Williams called him the most valuable .224 hitter in baseball. That's kind of a backhanded compliment, because he hit .224 in 1980. Combined with Ron LaFleur to set a major league record for most stolen bases in one season by two teammates in 1980. He led the NL in steals of third base in 1980 with 24. That's pretty cool. Expos obtained him, was that December 14th, 1978 from the Cubs in a trade for Sam Mejias, who I've never heard of. Rodney Scott, alright. Reds outfielder Larry Bittner. Pretty athletic stance there. Larry, actually your name's Lawrence David Bittner. Double I, double T, and Bittner. Pretty interesting. In his limited appearances as a pinch hitter, first baseman, and outfielder, he led the Reds in hitting last year, one of the top pinch hitters in the National League, and is the only free agent ever signed by the Reds. What? That cannot be right. Larry Bittner, up to this point, obviously, was the only free agent ever signed by the Reds. That's crazy. Hey, in 1975, he hit .315 for Montreal. Not bad, Larry. Lawrence. Alright, let's go through a few more here. Greg Gross. Always a good name. Gross. Outfielder for the Phillies. Gregory Eugene Gross. Looks like he's the Phillies' #4 outfielder and top pinch hitter, which in the National League is a little more important because he got the pitcher hitting up to this point. That's why Larry Bittner was so important for the Reds. He led the Phillies in hitting in 1982. He hit .322 for the Cubs in 1977 and .314 for the Astros in '74. He was named National League Rookie Player of the Year in 1974. Hey, look at that. Greg Gross, 1974 NL Rookie of the Year. Alright, I've got 5 cards left. Let's see. We've got Dave Schmidt, pitcher for the Texas Rangers. That Nolan Ryan T for Texas that I recognize only because of Nolan Ryan. 3.17 career ERA, not bad, man. Let's see, career highlights. He is emerging as one of the better young relievers in the American League. He led the Rangers in ERA last year and was second on staff in saves. He played collegiate ball at UCLA, was 8-1 with a 1.98 ERA for Rangers' Asheville farm team in 1980. That's really good. No wonder they called him up. Alright, we've got a lot of pitchers I've noticed. I mean, that makes sense, though. We've got Scott Holman, another Mets pitcher. So we're working with Scott. Hey, 1980. Looks like he debuted. 1.29 ERA out of the bullpen in 4 games. Then 81 was not there. Maybe when we read the career highlights, we'll find out why. But then 82, he came back and posted a 2.36 ERA for a career ERA of 2.12. Career highlights: made a full recovery last year from nagging shoulder injury that threatened to end his career in 80 and 81. Well, that's why. He is one of the Mets' brightest pitching prospects. He led the International League, which is the minor league, one of the minor leagues, in ERA and shutouts in '79 when he was 13-7 at Tidewater. He worked under Mets manager George Bamberger in Florida Instructional League after '81 season to help alleviate his shoulder guy's name is Mike, probably. I'm serious. Oh wait, you can't really see. Probably. Maybe it's Broly. It's probably Broly. Alright, Michael James Broly made a comeback of sorts. With the Cubs last year, leading their staff in ERA. Okay, that's not a comeback of sorts, that is a comeback, dude. Whoever wrote this is kind of diminishing what Mr. Broly has done in his career. He had his best season in 1980 with the White Sox, finishing 8th among AL pitchers in appearances. He was eating innings, man. That's valuable. Alright, we've got 2 more cards. Second to last is third baseman for the Seattle Mariners, Manny Castillo. Handsome young man. Let's see, not many at-bats. Looks like his first full season was 1982 with the Mariners after debuting with the Royals in 1980. He finished second on the Mariners in doubles in 1982. He was the MVP of the American Association, which is the minor leagues. In 1981, when he hit .335 and led the league in hits with 182. He was the top fielding third baseman in the American Association in both 80 and 81. He was signed originally by the Mets in 1973 and hit over 300 3 times in the minors. Manny Castillo, full name Esteban Manuel Castillo. Already in the last card we have, well, the last card I'm going to go through, I have probably 200, 300 more. But it's, I don't know how to, I think it's Dave Rosema, I don't know. David Scott Rosema, I'm going to say. He was born in Wyoming, Michigan. Boy, that's confusing. Career highlights: he was a valued member of the Tigers staff in 81, being used as a long reliever and spot starter. He pitched 2 of the Tigers' 6 81 shutouts. One of them a 2-hitter over the Mariners. Hey, not bad. There's David Scott. Let's see, Tigers signed him in January of 75, and he needed only 2 years of minor league seasoning before turning in spectacular rookie season in 1977. He was named the Sporting News Rookie Pitcher of the Year in the American League that season. Bothered by a sore arm in 1978, 79, and 80. Geez, David figured it out, but he pitched effectively when healthy. I guess you did figure it out, buddy. I'm sorry. Alright, well, if you want to see more videos like this, that'd be interesting. I can do that, though. This is something different. I don't know if there's much of an audience for going through baseball cards, but maybe I'll try to get a hold of my Pokemon cards that are not at my house. They're with my parents, but I could go get those and go through them because I have a lot of, I think, pretty valuable cards. A lot of Gen 1, a lot of jungle cards, a lot of stuff that's probably, 26 years old by this point. So that's pretty cool. I don't want to damage them, but I think it could be interesting. But just let me know. My name's Jake. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate all the support. It's been really meaningful, really nice of you guys. But I'll see you guys later.